Welcome to another episode of Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror in media. And tonight, brace yourselves. Be on alert. For the enemies are all around you. And they're vying for your doom. As we explore Cabin in the Woods. I'm Mitch.
I'm Murr.
And I'm Jonathan.
God, I don't know. That was a really, weird intro, but, I'm fine with it.
We honestly should have started, halfway into the podcast and then not explain anything.
Yeah.
Because that's really... I love the intro to this movie, and I remember going to watch this when I was really fucking high, and it scared the shit out of me.
Really?
I was, because it just does the intro, and it screams, too.
Oh, yeah, it does the sound. Yeah.
Yeah,
it does
the heightened sound, and it's, completely catches you off guard, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? I even turned to someone next to me. I was like, did I miss something? And they're like, no, this is how it started.
Yeah, this is just them in the office.
That's the thing. The Josh Whedon and the debut director fucking Drew Goddard. This is his first film. They intended to make the intro just tell people at the theaters, yo, did I walk into the wrong fucking film?
Yeah. I mean, if you had walked in the first 5 minutes of the movie, you'd be like, this isn't what I came here for.
And it hits you with that boom, cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
Big girl scream. It's pretty great.
It really does a good job of building up that, what the fuck is the point of these people? What are they doing? And then it slowly, unravels the mystery over the course of the film.
It tells you things with characters and script. Like 2-3 throwaway lines where they're like, what? Ancient gods, demons, sacrifices? And they're like, it's all real.
Yeah, if we don't sacrifice them right now, the ancient ones are gonna click.
That was great.
Just shuts them off. You're like, the ancient what?
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah. I love that. I love that it was Sigourney Weaver too.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
Who's just the evilest person.
And there's those alludes Japan might do it, and they're like, if they don't come through, then it's all on us.
His fucking response to them on the TV.
They do when they're all singing around now the evil spirit can live in the happy frog. He's like, fuck you. fuck you.
Fuck you, and fuck you. He's yelling at children on the screen, which is one of the funniest scenes.
None of them do it. That's why you've got to buy American.
Honestly. Oh my God. There's just so much shit. I love the dude who's like, I'm kind of starting to feel bad for her. I'm rooting for this girl. Tequila! He's like, let's get party. You start it. This starts drinking.
This shit reminds me of the fucking that movie, the Belko experiment, but on a fucking crazier scale.
Yeah.
Because there's an underground secret organization that's across all different areas of the world.
Sacrificing people constantly.
I found this out. They're trying to get the sacrifice.
Right.
So all of them are attempting to get the 5 from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
And all of them are failing.
Yeah.
So it was down to them. It was down to Japan and Kyoko, and then here in America.
Isn't the deal that if they do give the sacrifice, then they kind of survive?
They get to survive for a year.
Yeah, they get to keep doing that, and that's how they end up doing it again, and it obviously doesn't work this time around because of everything that happens. But they play around a lot with the horror character archetypes. They even have names for them at the end.
I really like that.
I mean, and it's kind of giving this weird faux reason why all these horror movies exist.
Right.
They were actually real movies the whole time, sort of thing.
Nothing's funnier than the mermaid who eats him.
Yeah.
And just spews out blood from the back.
I just thought it'd be cool with a merman.
He's really hoping. He's like, dude, he had the conch in his hand.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the best parts of the movie is when they go into the basement.
They get to choose.
Evil Dead style, and they get to choose.
Very much.
They have all kinds of shit. They had a lexicon, a reference to fucking Hellraiser.
Yep.
They have the Sugar Plum Fairy, who was the ballerina in the box.
Yep.
You had everything in the world, dolls,
the
film.
fucking story that they read is pretty fucked up, not gonna lie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The girl talking
the
about
torture murdered hobo family
or
whatever it is. Redneck torture hobo family.
What did he say? He was like the torture zombie redneck family.
Yeah.
I think is what he said. He's like, that's completely different from just zombies.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
had
difference.
zombies. This is
difference
zombie.
between an elephant and an elephant seal. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's great. I love that people are betting on it, and then the one dude who went in on the bet with them, he's like, yeah, because he actually won and got some money off of it.
The list is fucking hilarious.
If you've ever Did you ever read any of them on there? What do you have? Because I don't know what else is on there. Read them.
All right. So
There's a man-eating tree.
Wait, it's not a man-eating tree, but I'll get to that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So these kids, they go into a cabin and they basically choose how they're gonna die for the sacrifice to the ancient
So these
gods.
are all the possibilities.
You got werewolves, alien beasts, mutants, wraiths, zombies, reptilians, clowns, witches, sexy witches, demons, a hell lord, an angry molesting tree.
Oh, wow. Evil Dead. Evil Dead fucking reference.
Giant snake and deadites. Also Evil Dead.
Also Evil Dead.
Mummy,
Army of Darkness.
The Bride, the Scarecrow folk, who fucking are vicious, dude.
Yeah, they're terrible.
A snowman.
Oh, Jack Frost.
Yeah.
I wonder how many movies are in that list.
Yeah, right. How many just references?
There's a dragon bat, vampires, dismemberant goblins, the sugar plum fairy, the merman, the reanimated, a unicorn.
Wow, Reanimator.
Yeah. The unicorn,
Yeah.
Huron, Sasquatch, Wendigo, Yeti, all in parentheses.
Yeti.
Dolls, zombie redneck torture family, the doctors, jack-o'-lantern, giants, twins, and the intern Kevin.
What?
The intern Kevin is on there? That's so
Wait,
funny.
what the fuck? How
The
is
intern Kevin was secretly a monster.
So
the
he's
whole
a
time.
Wait. That adds another element to this movie. Wasn't he just hanging out with them?
He was like, I'm an intern, like, I don't know who I'm gonna bet for. Who should I bet for?
What the fuck?
So
Is
I
this supposed
think
to be like an office joke?
Yeah,
right?
I think it is an office joke, but it would be great if he's actually a monster that might show up.
well, that's the thing. Like, imagine it's like, oh, they fucking got Kevin, and Kevin's like, what? Yeah, dude, you got to go up there and fucking kill those dudes.
Oh my god, it's like a prank. They're like, yeah, go out there. Here, take this knife. And they like send him out there and they're all cracking up on the cameras.
They're like, he's gonna get fucked.
But
Oh my god. That would actually be a pretty funny segue if they're able to do something like that.
let me give you a quick rundown on stuff real quick.
Yeah,
This movie was made in 2011.
which is weird. I feel like it was made a longer time ago.
It was like ahead of its time.
It was pretty
It's one of those like notable new movies that people really respect.
yeah, a lot of people like this movie.
It was directed, like I said, by Drew Goddard and then produced by Josh Whedon. They both wrote it one night in a hotel.
Oh wow.
They wrote it in like 5 hours.
What the fuck?
And the funniest thing about that is in the script they wrote there's chaos on every screen because there's that area where they show all the screens of everyone getting fucking fucked. There's a unicorn goring people. There's scarecrows fucking killing people.
I love that the unicorn is considered like a horror monster in this universe and like gore someone as soon as it runs out and you're like, oh, okay. That's
I saw a Killbot from fucking
I did
Shopping
too.
Mall.
Yeah. I was like, that's a great reference to that movie.
So they wrote that one sentence. There's chaos on every screen,
Right.
And it took them majority of the film time to get that going.
Oh yeah, because they had to do they had to make the CGI for each one.
Not only that, but they also had to like get over 60 monsters and just fucking make them kill people.
Yeah, so
Which
it's
is
just like that's a
insane.
lot of fucking work.
You know that area where they have the boxes and the cubes makeshifting. They did a lot of panoramic stuff, or like they changed perspectives and forced perspectives. So they would get bugs and put them in small boxes.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they would get like a guy and put him in a small box, and he would be the giant.
Yeah.
And there's also, if you find it, it's not a monster on the list, but there's a Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like really brief, but you can
Just the
see
one
it.
Clan guy running around.
Yeah,
Oh
they were
my
just
God.
like, check this out. There's just true monsters in here.
Yeah.
The Ku Klux Klan. That's great.
But
Yeah.
this has a pretty decent cast, though.
Yeah.
Like
Like Chris Hemsworth
Chris
Yeah, it's
Hemsworth
like one of them.
playing one of the douchiest men alive.
pre-Thor, the
Yeah.
athlete.
Wait, was this pre-Thor?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Whoa, he wasn't always a douchebag. It was when he shows up to the house because they alter his like brain chemicals
That's
that makes him
true.
an
He
asshole.
was a pretty nice guy.
He's
at the
actually a
beginning.
pretty nice dude in the beginning. He's like, hey, that book sucks.
You should read this one.
This is a better one.
They're talking about socialism. It's so good.
Yeah.
That was so great. I love that.
Like, also for the cast, give me one moment.
I love that the stoner dude was so fucking like he had such a strong tolerance
Marty.
that he was basically immune to whatever gas they were putting in there.
His scene with the bong where she's about to get capped by the bear trap and all of a sudden, oh shit, it's caught by the giant bong.
Yeah.
And then saves the day.
A very expensive prop. The extended bong coffee mug cost $5,000 to make.
God
What?
damn it, where can I see? I
I
wanted
thought that
one.
was a thing you could just buy on Amazon.
Most likely nowadays, but back then.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. It probably got made afterwards. Wow,
so
that's an
so we're talking about
prop.
Marty. That is Frank Franz's character.
Yeah,
or Kranz's character. And then
what the fuck else has he been in? I know he's been in other shit. I just can't remember what the fuck else he's been in.
Let me see what else.
Because he's easily one of the funnier characters because he like unravels the whole thing. They're like, how the fuck did he almost make us? Like finding the camera and the microphones in the fucking walls and in the like picture frame. He's like, what the fuck is this? And he starts freaking out.
He might be one of my favorite characters.
He is probably my favorite character because like he's the one that like, guys, I have a conspiracy. Everyone's like, dude, you're just baked, Marty. And he's like, I think we're being watched and shit like that.
Totally,
like he's the one who finds the mic.
Yeah.
He realizes like all this shit's going down.
I love that they make fun of other horror movies that deal with certain characters, like the girl who like seduces the wolf sculpture on the wall. How that's just like that whole thing is just a parody of the like stereotypical women that they put into classic horror films that are just dumb. And they end up making that whole scene where she walks up to it and seduces it, and you're like, what the fuck? And everyone's just watching. I'm like, what is this awkward scene?
Making out with
with the fucking taxidermy wolf head.
Yeah.
You have to realize that like they did make that a prop. They weren't gonna make her make out with that fucking thing.
I mean, yeah.
They had to put powder sugar all over the tongue too.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They made a silicone tongue that was adjustable.
That's weird as hell.
There was a lot of stuff.
What a weird bit of
really,
background stuff.
So like, I'm not going to lick an actual taxidermy thing. You would have put some sugar on
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Right?
Like, you just go up and say that?
Fran Kranz was also in The Village,
That's right.
Training Day, and The Dark Tower.
Oh, The Dark Tower. Could have been something amazing.
I never watched it.
It had fucking Idris Elba in it, and it could have been so good, and it just was a shit bomb movie. Like, it was so bad.
We also have Kristen Connolly as Dana, and then Anne Hutchison as Jules.
Yeah.
And then there's one more guy. He's the fucking nerd that they quote unquote, because he's like throwing a football, but then after he reads the Latin, he puts the glasses on.
Literally like the only black dude in the movie?
Yeah. Like he puts the glasses on. Okay, now he's the scholar. Okay.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that's true actually.
I like when he's like, well, I mean, blood was spilled. Oh, so you got internal bleeding. Well, you should go talk to her. She's a med student.
Oh, fuck.
And I was just like, dang, you just got shot down like so hard.
That was pretty funny actually.
Dang.
Just directs her straight away.
So good. Then we got.
Oh, do we know what the painting was? You know the painting at the beginning that they pull off the wall of like, it's like, I don't know, gutting an animal basically.
Yeah, big
I
horse.
think that's a real painting like that. That's like from actual art history and not like a random thing that they made for the film. Anyway, it's probably important to the plot, I think.
I hope so.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's an interesting painting for sure. And then like they have to take it down because it's too fucking fucked up, and they realize that like
it's a two-way mirror.
It's a two-way mirror, and it's like kind of an allusion to like that they're being watched by the other people. And it's super funny because these guys are betting on them, and then like they have the tropes. They need the whore to take out her tits. It's like a rite of passage for the ritual to take place.
God.
So you got all the men in the room.
It's totally not, but it was totally done for the dudes, because that's what every classic 80s horror film was. It wasn't a true movie unless it had boobs in it.
Yeah.
And that was the joke they were doing.
There's like a guy who is like making sure that he works for the director, and he's like trying to make sure that everything is going to plan. And he's like, I'm not going to participate in any of this. This seems kind of unethical. But like,
still looking.
Yeah. It's interesting because they fuck up with their chemicals. They put some shit in the hair dye. They release pheromones everywhere. He's like, we should stay together and cover more. We should stay together. We're stronger that way. And then they're like, oh man, release the stupid pheromones. And he's like, actually, no, we should split up.
Like, and he's just like, after. What the fuck? Why is that even a good idea?
But they all die in a specific order. The whore has to die first, always, is what it is. And then anything could go any other way. With the athlete, the fool, and the scholar, but the virgin, as they call it, is like the final girl in every other movie. So she could either die or she could stay alive as long as she suffers.
So there's a great quote about that painting. It was custom made for the film, and this is the dude who was part of the visual team. He says, Martin Wist on the painting That was fun. This poor guy who actually had to paint it. He was very classically trained, a wonderful painter. I started by giving him classical references, Gainsborough and wonderful English landscape painters, and then started adding the layer of Goya and the darker painters. And he sort of understood that. But then as we kept going on, he kept bringing it back to something more restrained. And I would just keep making him put more gore and more blood into it. At a certain point, he would roll his eyes. He almost couldn't do it. In the end, he was just shaking his head. You guys are nuts. No more gore. The dog needs to be ripping the flesh out. There's no need to be pools of blood. They forced this poor painter to make this terrible painting.
Fucking, you're gonna make it more gore, buddy. Are you sure?
He's like crying as he paints it.
I like to draw sunsets. You know?
Oh my god, what are you doing? That's really funny.
Also, you know the part where they're in the lake, right? And they all go swimming.
Yeah.
So the only person that doesn't go in the lake is Marty, and there's a reason for that.
Why?
So apparently, Fran Kranz was more ripped than Chris Hemsworth.
What?
Noticeably. like the directors, and I quote, say he was ripped like muscular Jesus.
What? The fucking stoner dude?
Yeah. He was fucking ripped. So they had to give him extra baggy clothes.
I was wondering about that.
They didn't want to show up Chris Hemsworth
that was the whole reason.
Chris Hemsworth was actually not like super buff in this movie. Yeah. He was just like your typical.
Very normal.
Yeah.
He looks like he goes to the gym.
Yeah. There wasn't like anything crazy. That's super funny.
Yeah.
I just think it's fun because he's like the
what if he
had
like prepped for the movie? What if he was like, yeah, they're gonna make me do a shirtless scene, I'm gonna get fucking ripped, and they were like, no, you're not doing that. You can't outshine Chris Hemsworth. The fuck?
Yeah, sorry, calm down, buddy.
Yeah. And they were like, no.
This is Hollywood.
You're playing the stoner. Yeah, exactly.
This is Hollywood. You can't just do whatever you want.
That's pretty funny though. I like that.
There was so much meddling from like these fucking scientists too.
It's great.
They like changed the lighting in the area so like it looks more enticing to fuck in the woods.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
And they released the pheromones to encourage them like more.
I love how many people collected in the room, like he said, where they're all like waiting for it to happen, and they're like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
As their shirt comes.
Do we have nips?
Like,
no.
Oh.
Everyone's like, fuck.
That's so fucking funny.
They're like, oh, like they all groan.
Yeah.
And she puts like, never mind, maybe not, and then they're like, wait. Change the lighting over there.
He's like, no, I got it. I can save it.
And then boobies.
The only thing this movie needed was them getting like takeout food, like midway through their shift. Just like, hey, yo, bro,
like Chinese delivered.
You get the rice or the noodles? I got the noodles. Yeah, just throws the fucking box.
I love how the cabin that they walk into looks like the exact cabin that they used in Evil Dead.
I thought so too.
I'm like, that has to be either a rebuild of that or the exact same spot.
Right.
And I was just like, because this looks exactly like it. When I first watched it, I want to like grab screen shots of those and see if they're similar, because it's got to be. And it's literally called Cabin in the Woods.
Unfortunately, the fucking cabin was made in Canada.
Yeah, that's true.
Not in
Didn't it get destroyed?
The original from Evil Dead? I don't think so. I think it's still there.
I thought it got like torn down, or
Did
there wasn't very many pieces left because people kept going to take it.
Oh, fuck.
And like it got disassembled basically because people kept stealing wood off of it. Just be like, I have an original like prop, because they couldn't take it down or they didn't want to.
Right.
And then people just kept visiting it and kind of took it apart, which sucks.
So I think one of the other fucking hilarious things is they're about to escape too. And then where's the demolition team? That fucking cave should have caved in hours ago.
Oh, man.
This guy.
I love that they're making fun of maintenance the whole time, too. They're like, what do you want? Like, they're not creative. If they were creative, they wouldn't be in maintenance. Because they just they bet on the same thing every year.
They won this year.
Yeah, they did.
Along
with the intern.
Same pool as Kevin.
That's great. I still like that.
There's a scene in the fucking screens that says, because when the chaos on the screens happen inside the facility, he's in a closet and it says, "Please help, I'm Kevin. I'm an intern here."
Oh my god, what?
It's so good.
Oh my god.
So they finally fucking destroy the cave, and then they have to back out of it, and Chris Hemsworth gets the idea, I could make this fucking chasm.
Love this. They build him up so hard. They're just like, yeah, check out this hero. He's gonna fucking make it. Like, this is the moment. And he does this jump and just smacks straight into the fucking wall. You saw a bird get zapped on
the force field. They did a good job of switching that on you.
Yeah,
I remember seeing this for the first time. Was not expecting that at all. Even though the bird clearly like
get zapped
tells
in the beginning.
You exactly what's going to happen.
You just forget about it. It's just one of those things you forget about because you're like, oh, this isn't important.
You're like, that was weird.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Yeah, but let's keep going, I suppose.
Yeah,
Here, we're comfortable.
It also is a nice reference to when they tried to leave the cabin in Evil Dead and couldn't because the bridge was all fucking torn up.
Right.
So same concept. They couldn't leave the area.
Some bullshit that traps you in the place.
Because I guess that was like the only way in and out unless they wanted to go through like the woods, but it's still like a dome, I guess.
Yeah.
I think what was also super funny is how they were like congratulating the dudes, like, dude, the RV flipped and it went in the lake. Then she was getting grabbed by the zombie. Like, props to you guys.
He was so proud. He was like, yeah, it's like an art. Like, I got it. Like,
really
was wishing an art. Yeah,
was really wishing for a merman. Though.
Yeah, he's like, I just wanted it to be.
And like the thing is, like they tell him, they're like, Marty, you don't want to fuck, or what? They just tell him like, dude, you don't want a merman. They're messy cleanup.
Yeah,
and they are.
Love that.
The fucking merman in here crawls slowly
spews fucking blood out of its back as it's eating him.
It's so good.
It's so funny. I love that it's a merman too.
Yeah, it's really fucking ugly.
It is the ugliest thing you've ever seen, and it's just crawling.
What was really funny was Sigourney Weaver was like,
she's a great villain.
Oh yeah, she's awesome in this.
I don't know why she hasn't been a villain in other things.
She does a lot of voice acting.
Yeah, she does.
So like when she came on the fucking intercom, I was like, oh, we got Sigourney Weaver up this.
Yeah,
bitch.
You knew exactly who it was.
Yeah.
You know exactly who it is every time you hear her voice. And
I was like,
great.
yeah, I remember you from fucking Finding Dory. I remember you from the Dark Crystal Resistance.
Oh fuck.
Like,
I remember you in Aliens.
Yeah,
and Alien.
She was super young in Alien. Which is nuts.
Heartthrob too. Like, goddamn.
Hear that they're like doing fucking Galaxy Quest again.
They are, and they're making another
one.
Alien film, which she might show up in.
Ooh.
So she's gonna be like some other clone or something. Either she's a clone or she's gonna be like a recording.
Just bring back Jonesy.
What if the cat ends up being some weird mutant monster and ends up killing them? Just some weird Prometheus
Jonesy.
shit.
Jonesy as a xenomorph.
They need to keep well, I guess they made Alien Covenant, which connected the second part of Prometheus. And that was supposed to be like the explanation for that.
Such a whole can of worms.
But it was a lot of stuff. Anyway, Sigourney Weaver.
Well, I guess she really loved the fact that there was a werewolf on set.
Nice.
She's always wanted to be in a movie with a werewolf. So there's so many videos of her just holding hands with the guy who played the werewolf and taking selfies with him.
I love
Sigourney Weaver confirmed furry.
Yeah. At the age of what, 70?
70 something. So these fucking people, they figure out that they're being watched, that there's an underground facility that's facilitating this, and that they choose how they die.
Sorta. They even the guy I was arguing with them earlier in the movie where he's like, you guys are just setting it up. Like, this is all a setup. And they're like, no, they get to choose. They have to make the choice or else it won't work.
Yeah.
And I love that their rule set was saying that the virgin doesn't have to die as long as she's the last one.
The final girl.
Yeah, essentially creating the idea of the final girl.
Then they finally find the facility. They cap one of the security guards and they purge the system.
Yeah, that was great. Just like, he's like, which door do we open? All of them. You're like, oh, fuck. And just releases everything that's in there, which is kind of wild. How do they contain all of that?
That's what, there's like some background lore that's not explained. Like, there has to be a facility, multiple facilities, because you get a glimpse of other fucking areas that failed. Like, you got fucking King Kong in the fucking Mexico one.
Yeah.
Or Buenos Aires. Then you got fucking the Stockholm one, which is a reference to The Thing.
Yes.
And then you got fucking Spain, which is a reference to Dracula.
Yeah.
And like all these facilities contain spirits, demons, monsters.
So many hidden references in this movie.
It's fucking nuts.
I feel like the Japanese one was just The Ring.
Yeah.
Because it's just the girl with the crazy
I
long
love that
black
they were
hair.
the only ones who were successful. When they were just like, nope, fucking, it turns into a little frog.
They're all just dancing
Singing
around
with
in
their
circles,
hands,
like, oh god.
They're all like trying to pet the frog. It's so cute.
Yeah.
It's adorable. And also like, yeah, that makes sense. They would be familiar with demons and how to exercise them.
Yeah. 9-year-old girls.
Yeah, they'd be all right.
We just gotta sing our little
happy
nursery rhymes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a nursery rhyme, basically.
There is so much happening on screen when everything hits, though.
Yeah.
Like the dragon bat, the fucking giant snake. There's fucking the goblins. Like everything is going on at once.
And then it just keeps opening. You hear the ding, and like it
all the
opens
security
up
guards are like, "Fuck."
Yeah. I would not be I would not want to be a security guard for some place like that. I'd be like, what the fuck? No, I'm not guarding some supernatural shit. What the fuck?
It's crazy though, because I thought it was going to be like something more biblical, but I was really glad they went the route of elder gods.
Yeah, it was not biblical at all.
But, I appreciate that.
It seemed like it was going that way because they were like, yeah, check out the archetypes. What were they? Like the hero, the scholar.
Oh, they got the whore who has to die first.
That sucks.
And then any of them could go in the order except for the virgin.
Yeah.
So you got the athlete.
That's it.
The fool.
Yeah.
And then the scholar.
That sucks. Stoner ended up being the fool.
I mean, it makes sense.
And he's the smartest person there, probably.
Right. That's the thing. Whoa, guys, I have a conspiracy. Oh, no, we're going to leave the room.
No, dude, you're just fucking high. Stop it.
And then, like, there's that mid-scene where she's like, yeah, what's going on? Like, Pop-Tarts? He's like, Pop-Tarts, yo! But
Pop-Tarts?
they finally get to the area where they, like, hold the elder gods underneath the fucking area.
Yeah.
And, like, Sigourney Weaver is there pissed with a fucking gun.
I love that. I love the giant hand busts out of the ground as, like, it's going to fucking crawl out. I was like, this is great.
Oh, my God. Do you know how much work they had to do for that?
I bet it was a lot. It still looks pretty good, even this many years later.
So they got a team of professional miniature makers.
Okay.
And they put all sorts of particles and dust in these trees, and they made this mechanism that shook everything, and it would bend back and then bend all the way back up again, and you could see the particles move in slow motion.
Oh, what the fuck?
So then they added CGI, and then they added like an actual hand prop, and then they just went with it. And going into the making of this movie with that, it's phenomenal to see the miniature work happen.
I didn't realize it was a combo of miniature and CGI.
The trees and the particles.
That's impressive.
Like they had miniature explosives to lift up the dirt.
Oh, what the fuck?
So like you could see the fucking dirt go up.
Yeah, so when it smacks down.
Yeah.
Jesus. They put a lot of work into that finale.
And I believe the director said, like, I don't know, if I were to make only this movie, he'd be fine and happy with it.
Oh,
like,
wow.
He's like cool with being content with like,
I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I didn't really find anything in it where I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Besides maybe how did they contain all of it? Because all I could really see was a glass box.
Yeah.
Unless it's like magical and like they had containment boxes.
Here's the thing. They could have added a scene where like a new shipment was coming in and they try to fit them in there.
Yeah.
Like a pack of zombies or some shit.
It's very Jurassic Park of you.
Right.
Something happens and it breaks open.
Yeah, there should have been dinosaurs too.
Right? Honestly. Where's the raptors?
Just like a pack of velociraptors running out.
That'd be great. No, it'd be the one from, what's it called? The new one? God, what is that thing called? The new dinosaur they make in Jurassic World.
Indominus Rex?
That's it.
Presented by Verizon.
Oh, fuck. I forgot that was the thing. They actually like paid for the DNA and everything. I love that.
So fucking
That
good.
was a great capitalist joke in that movie. Anyway, what are your favorite scenes from this movie?
That whole part. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Happens like 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. That whole all of that is my
also
favorite
includes a unicorn getting.
It has that huge like the gory ass montage with the werewolf in like the center and everything's just chaos around
true.
it. That shot is just beautiful. I just want like a playmat.
You see
that
you
or
see
a poster.
You do see a man. He's on the left side of the screen. The tree just go right through him, and he's like trying to not get sucked into the elevator. You know what that tree's gonna do to him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Because we saw the fucking tree on the
molesting tree.
Jesus.
I think my favorite scene is like right when the area gets fucking bombarded, and like the scarecrows come and they fuck up that dude, and he kills himself with a grenade.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And then like. The dude gets blown away and he meets his fate with the merman.
Oh my god.
It's so good. Like the music is so shiny. It's just like
it's supposed to be like a really soft moment and then he's like, "Oh no."
He's like, "Fuck this."
That's great. I love his complaint. He's like, "It's not supposed to be me." I love that. There's so many good ones. I liked when Chris Hemsworth just smacks right into that wall and fails. Just because I love the build-up for the hero to not make it. But I also really like when Mordecai calls in the beginning and he's on speakerphone.
Yeah.
And he's just like going through his whole like fire and brimstone speech. And he's like, "Am I on speakerphone?" And they're like, oh, my bad. I didn't realize you were on speakerphone. He's like, it's just so rude. I don't know who's in the room. And he's like, let me take you off. And he keeps going. And then they all start laughing. And I think he just hangs up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, this guy's going to murder you. Like, he's going to come up to where you're at and murder you.
He's like, the sheep are in the pen.
Like, they've gone to the killing floor. And you're like, oh, wow. All right.
Like, here's the thing. Like, in my opinion, or in my theory, they have to hire this guy once a year.
Yeah.
And so
totally
he has to be the gas station once a year.
He's got to be your first warning. They always have that warning in the beginning of the movie where they're like, turn back. And in this case, this guy is just really mean and racist.
And like, the thing is, you could theorize about this too, because there's cleanup teams for this shit.
Right.
They have to undo the cave coming down. They have to clean up all the blood, make the house livable again.
Yeah.
So someone else's cousin can invite them to the cabin. It's pretty cool. My favorite part about this movie, though, is the fact that you could take any horror movie and just put it in this scenario.
Yep.
So it's just like Evil Dead, or like Dawn of the Dead, zombie apocalypse. Oh yeah, that was just them trying to get a mass sacrifice for an elder giant.
I love that.
It's like, if you think about it that way, in the satire kind of way that it's doing, it's really big brained, I believe.
Big brain. Yeah, it's a pretty meta movie. Even though it's like, I know we joke about it being like, oh, it's so meta. But they actually do a good job of parodying it, but maybe not quite as good as Brain Dead or Dead Alive.
Yeah.
But it's still really good, and it's pretty approachable.
For a modern movie.
Yeah, people can watch it.
I mean, if we're comparing it to like Brain Dead, because they're both comedy horror movies that both parody things, I feel like Brain Dead is like the gore side of horror that they're trying to imitate, like to make things as flashy and gory as possible. And Cabin in the Woods does that too, not quite to the same sticky,
more towards the end,
slippery ass like extent, but it's doing its own thing. It's doing its own meta sort of commentary on horror, and also a love letter to all of it too. Yeah.
Also, one of the best intros I've seen in a while for a movie, where they're just like all business and like office about it. They even have like the shirts with the ties and like the short sleeves
and the little fucking ID cards.
I love that. They like get on a golf cart as they're driving like to whatever section that they work in. So that was great. I love that intro.
Yeah, talking about like their wife and the kids.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna get like all this carpentry stuff. I'm gonna upgrade my house. Can you help me? He's like, are you even listening to me?
I'm glad you brought that up, because I believe one of the people that worked on the movie, like their relative was working for the testing at the
nice
New Mexico bomb site for the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
So they were making an allusion to basically like all these top scientists and crazy ass people that make crazy things happen. All have mundane lives outside of it.
Honestly,
because they can't talk about it.
Yeah, they can't tell anybody
so they're all
else
very
about
just
it.
like, I'm building a deck this weekend.
Yeah,
like
I'm taking the kids to soccer, and then I gotta fucking mow my lawn.
That's awesome.
Before we go back to
murdering people every fucking year.
Yeah.
All right, then what would you guys rate this film?
I think as a new movie, as something that just like bends expectations, I think this is a 10. This is a fun fucking movie.
10. I think I might actually give it a 10 too.
I could recommend this movie to anyone, even if they don't like horror.
Yeah,
because it makes fun of the genre.
It also misleads you a lot in the beginning. Like, you're kind of like, oh, this is pretty tame. Like, what's going on?
I mean, I'm also gonna give it a 10 too.
So wow, perfect score.
Yeah, it's that. It's
kind of rare for a film to get a perfect
score. It's just
score
that good.
The
only thing, I'll nitpick one little thing, is that there is a weird little plot hole that I noticed.
Yeah.
Every time that somebody officially dies, the little like stones that have their like sigil put up there, depending on who they are, fill up with blood, and the Fool's definitely fills up with blood, which makes me wonder why, because he's not actually dead.
Well, if you also notice, the entire facility shakes when that happens, because he's not dead, and the Elder Giants are mad.
But where's the sacrifice?
I do want to know where the blood comes from, though.
Same.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does it come?
Some unanswered questions in this one, which aren't really going to like kill your experience, but
not at all.
It is
no.
Curious.
You could nitpick it if you really wanted to, but it's not that movie to do too.
You could check out that fucking cube scene and just see all kinds of shit in there, man.
Fuck.
You'd be like, that's a reference to that movie. That's a reference to that movie.
I'm sure if you went through it and like paused it and started looking at everything, you'd find stuff.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
All right. Any final thoughts?
No.
go check out our episode on Brain Dead or Dead Alive.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, if you haven't heard it already.
These are two good. I think Brain Dead and Count of the Woods are two good. Like, it's a good double feature.
Yeah, that'd be a good double feature.
I agree.
All right, Murph, take us out.
I'll take us out. We are Bringing Down the Grindhouse, a podcast where we discuss horror in media. You could check us out on all our socials. We got the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Facebooks, as usual. We also have our Patreon up where you can donate for $2 a month to give us a recommendation for a piece of horror media you would like us to talk about. We'd like to give a thanks to our patron, Sean. Thank you for your continued support. Also, we have the hats and shirts now available on our Teespring. So if you check out our Instagram or Facebook, you can find the link to get those things. Every sale helps us out in a big way, and we appreciate your contribution to the podcast. It means a lot. So, yeah.
I'm Mitch.
I'm Murph.
And I'm Jonathan. Thank you.